Today we're meeting a legend, a guy who probably single-handedly saved the 996 and started a whole new trend of putting rooftop tents on sports cars. He's one of my favorite people in the Porsche community today, and he's a big reason why I got a 911 in the first place. You probably already guessed who it is. We're talking with Brock, 996 Road Trip.
River gonna run you down.
So if you're new to the channel, welcome. We talk about cars and specifically Porsches. I just have a knack for that community, and it's really the only community in where you'll have overland guys, you know, with the Cayennes, to your super track oriented guys with like even GT3 RSs these days. So it's a community that I love, from like the air cooled to the modern day stuff. I'd be hard pressed to find a Porsche that I don't love. Yeah, I'd be hard pressed to find a Porsche. I had to think about it. Anyway, guys, enough of me bantering. I did ask Brock some questions and just about his lifestyle and why he chose Porsche, and I'm going to let him answer that.
My name is Brock Keane, and I'm the guy behind 996 Road Trip, which usually has a tent on the top. But we're on a winter road trip for a few different brands right now, and so we threw the box on it, decided to throw some snowboards and snow gear on it, and hit a whole bunch of resorts around Idaho, Utah, Colorado, Jackson, Wyoming. We got a bunch of things we got going on. You know, the reason I chose the 996 is because I couldn't find a 964 that was gonna fit for me. To be honest, that's the real story. But the other side of it is the 996 is kind of the generation of Porsche that was new to me. I got to see that car go from the sketches in, you know, the front of Car and Driver magazine to actually being on the road. It was always my goal to own one. So when this one fell in my lap, I just decided that I had to make the best of it, and we have. For me, when all of the momentum happened, or when I started being recognized, there was a couple of articles that got published. But I think the primary thing was I entered myself in some hashtag contests on Instagram on my personal page, and Yakima Racks picked it up, and I ended up winning a whole package of all of their gear. And that came along with Brandon Haley also noticing. And he's like, hey dude, we gotta go shoot your Porsche somewhere. And so we popped the tent and we took a couple photos, and those photos went viral in about 2018. And from then it just has kind of blown up, and we ended up doing the PCCM Plus, the new head unit for the 996 and 986 cars. We did the commercial for Porsche for that. And then, then we started doing like road trip stories for them. And it's kind of led us to now doing stories for everybody else as well. What's the biggest oh shit moment? I think for me, it was, we were heading out to the Alvord Desert, which is in the southeastern kind of quadrant of Oregon. It's super remote. The closest town, like real town, is probably 3 hours away. And I was driving out on winter tires on extremely, like, not gravel, but crushed rock. And I was hauling ass with a bunch of like Vanagons and other just kind of overlanding rigs, 55, 60 miles an hour down this road. And probably about 12 to 13 miles in, my traction control light started going off and I couldn't figure out what was going on. And then I saw that, you know, my tire pressures were bad, and that was not good. From after that, I decided I was just gonna send it to the like landing area that we were gonna go and kind of park and reconvene. And on my way down the road, which was probably 500 feet, I looked to my left just because, and I watched my tire roll by me. And there was definitely an oh shit moment. And I drove on the rim probably another 250 feet, found a level spot, popped my tent, and woke up to the Alvord Desert in some crazy early morning. Turned out to be an epic time, probably one of my favorite stories of all time too. We were on the Overcrest Rally, the one that was through Utah, and that was by far one of my favorite rallies I've ever experienced. Basically what had happened is we had this washout that we were going through to get this one epic road. And I go nose down, and we thought we were gonna make the appropriate approach, and I didn't. And I dug the whole front end of the car into like just washed out gravel dirt. And in fact, there's still gravel tucked up against the radiator in there from that trip. I leave it in there just as a good memory. But I ended up needing like 3 or 4 guys to get on the back end of the car, push down as I pushed out, and we finally got through and ended up doing some damage, but you know, nothing that doesn't make for a good story. Why Porsche? So for me, it's a brand that was one of those things that made it kind of attainable for anybody. And the long story, well, we won't give you the long story, I'll give you the short story. My family and I were on a trip over to Central Oregon, and they have a Porsche dealer there. And we stopped at this Burger King for a bathroom break. And right next to the Burger King is the Porsche dealer. I walked over and there was a 993 Turbo sitting basically outside, black on black, absolutely beautiful car. And what happened was the owner of the dealership came out and asked me if I wanted to sit in the car. That was the moment that it all changed for me. And I actually get emotional about it because it was such a special moment. And he's no longer with us, so he passed away here a few years ago. But he's also been the guy who's put me into Carrera GTs and 996 turbos and Cayennes and a whole bunch of other things. So I really learned that the brand cares about people, and that representation was exactly what I always wanted to be about. And that's what I try to represent when I'm driving around on the Porsche.
All right, guys, hopefully you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching. And Brock, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to indulge two Porsche enthusiasts. I also want to thank your photographer, Dave. Dave, shout out to you. Thanks for being a genuine badass, I'll say, as well, and documenting some of the Brock's best adventures. So, but yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching, really. If you enjoy this content, please, I've got more videos, more Porsche stuff. Go ahead and take a look. We just recently did a safari shoot, or a shoot with Mike and his 911 Safari. It was beautiful. So I'll link that video down below, or one of these cards. But yeah, guys, if you did enjoy this video, a like would be appreciated. Go ahead and comment below what vehicles or people out there we should look at. Brandon and I are looking at traveling and capturing a bunch of stories, and Brandon's got a crazy cool series coming out called Track Out, so stay tuned for that. That's amazing. If you want to follow me and see the photos, I definitely will post them up on Instagram, so check it out there. Check everyone else's out. Their social media is down below as well. Big thank you to PMB Performance. PMB doesn't sponsor these things, but they are helping out with the 911 build I'm doing, kind of a safari build, so I just want to give Eric as much business as possible. So if you have a car, air-cooled preferably, and Porsche preferably, or even Volkswagen, I don't know. But go ahead and check out Eric Shea and his team at PMB Performance. Wonderful, wonderful work, wonderful service. And if you ever need your brakes done for an old classic car, he's the guy. He'll say yes to everything. So, but thank you guys. Thank you so much for watching. And God bless. I'll see you in the next episode, all right?
Brandon Haley again, Mr. Go ahead and send it kind of thing, was this dude needs some Nokian Hakkapelitas. It does. Just send it. You just gotta floor it. You'll be good. Keep going. Keep going. Stay on it. 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 You're good. Still go, 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 go. Stay on it. Stay on it. Stay on it. Yep.